All right, I'm here with Adam Ogilvie. This is APD product interview. So, Mr. Adam, when you travel, what is the purpose of your travel?
Most of the time it's for work. I'm a pilot, cargo pilot, so kind of go all over. See a lot of things.
See a lot of things.
Go a lot of places.
Beautiful, beautiful. Love to hear that. And so, how often do you travel, would you say?
Probably like on a flight, I'd say I'm on an airplane about 10 to 14 times a month. It's a decent amount.
It's a lot of flying. Love to hear it. And when you get ready for travel, when do you start packing typically?
I've gotten pretty good at packing, so it only takes me about maybe 30 minutes if it's like a longer trip. If it's a short trip, I can throw something together and less than 15 if I need to.
Oh my goodness.
Got like my kits kind of set up, and so it doesn't take me very long.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And so when you do you usually check a bag when you fly?
No, cargo. We have our own kind of way of doing it. When I fly commercially for like repositioning and stuff, I normally carry on as well, just because of time constraints and possible changes to the schedule. I don't want to be waiting on bags while all of a sudden I need to go somewhere else.
Right. So totally, you have some. So you would say that you have a bag that you carry most of your things in, but then your carry-on bag per se would carry some items.
Yeah.
in.
So I have a roller bag that does fit in overheads, and then of course an underseat bag, and I can go for a couple weeks with just those two bags. So,
okay, that's good information. That's good. Awesome. And then it sounds like you kind of have like a specific bag that you use for each of those. Okay.
Yeah. So I've got two bags. I actually have them with me if you want to see them.
Maybe I might check those out.
Yeah, but they're both kind of pilot specific since I travel so much. They're extremely durable, more so than pretty much any other bag.
Okay.
And I've already had to repair one of them, but traveling as much as I do, it's like you need something that'll last.
Interesting.
So.
Kind of a follow-up question that's actually not on my list. How frequently would you say you replace those bags?
I haven't replaced them yet.
Wow. And how many years have you been piloting?
Well, my roller bag I've only had for just over 2 years.
Okay.
I've had to fix one thing on it. It wasn't that big a deal. I can't even remember what it was. My smaller bag, the underseat bag I use, I've had for about 5 now, and I just like last month had a seam restitched. Okay. And it was just the seam. Nothing tore on the fabric. It's just the seam restitched. So
that's cool.
It's good to go again for another, hopefully, a couple of years.
That's cool though. That's good to know, because that's definitely something that's interesting, is wear and tear on some of those bags.
Yeah.
So when you're traveling, what's your primary form of entertainment when you're on the flight?
Well, a lot of times we can't do a whole lot while flying, but commercial, or if I'm riding in the back, I have an iPad with downloaded shows. I've got a Kindle, sometimes Breakout. Okay. Occasionally I do paperwork sort of stuff. Since it's a lot of downtime, I can crank out bids or overtime pay sheet and some things like that. But between all of that and then just conversation with the crew, eats up all the time. That eats up the time.
Okay, yeah, and I guess you're probably maybe a little bit of a special case there, but
yeah, it's a little bit different. But I guess for traveling, iPad and Kindle. Is the
so. In addition to those, what other electronic devices would you bring with you normally?
Well, I have my phone as well, just to play games with or whatever. Yeah. But then AirPods are huge for listening, noise cancellation. I've got actually 2 sets of noise canceling headphones that I always carry with me, so in case one dies, I've got a backup. Always have something over the ears to protect them. Even like generic airplane noise is loud enough, so even if I'm not playing anything, I'll have them plugged in. So
got it. That's a good. Okay, cool. Yeah. Good to know. All right, what is one item that you hate to pack but you always have to bring with you anyway?
That's a good one, because I don't really bring anything I don't use or like to use. Okay.
I mean, this might be an interesting case for you, because again, you're a little more efficient probably than the normal traveler.
I've definitely slimmed it down some. Right now, I guess the thing is sunscreen is kind of a pain, because today is sunny obviously, but it's cold out, and so therefore the sun doesn't affect me.
Right.
I
That's
don't
right.
know, there's no science behind that, but you know, I'm going to Miami next week, and it's like for the one day I'm in somewhere
Right.
warm and gonna be on the beach, I want to, you know, bring sunscreen.
Totally.
So,
Well, and that's kind of a pain because, you know, the sunscreen doesn't really ever seal right, so you got to put it in like a bag or something.
Yeah.
So that definitely can be a pain in the ass.
Yeah. So yeah, liquids sometimes are a pain. I don't know. I've done it enough where
You're pretty optimized.
I've slimmed down everything where if I don't need it or use it, I don't bring it.
But that's good because, I mean, even you, who has done this plenty, has an item that's still kind of annoying.
Yeah, and it has taken like a long time to get to the point where it's like I know when I'm gonna use something, so I'll bring it, versus like just always carrying around something just in case.
Totally. No, that's helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll try and speed this up a little bit. There's a question about arriving. How long before your flight do you arrive at the airport? Again, that's kind of a unique case for you, probably.
Yeah, I try and get, well, again, security I can kind of breeze through with pilot stuff, but I try and get to the gate about an hour before.
Okay, good to know.
Or like when working the airport, there's show times an hour before as well. It just kind of, you know, allows some time for changes in schedule
if something were to happen. Yeah,
exactly.
So kind of a follow-up on that, could you just like briefly describe an instance when you were flying where you had to improvise in order for your trip to go smoothly? Like any shape or form.
You mean every trip?
Oh
Okay.
Man, all right, that's good.
No, there's one time like we were flying to, I guess this doesn't really count because you're asking more of the passenger side of things.
Sure,
right?
But I mean, it's whatever.
I'll do a passenger, I guess, example. I can do what's called jump seating, where pilots, like if there's empty seats on an airplane, other pilots can travel around for free, and if there's not any empty seats, then you're not going.
Okay.
And there's been a couple times where I'm planning on jump seating on this flight to either go home or go to work, and the plane's full, and the jump seats are full, and it's like, well, got to find another way. So,
totally.
Yeah, one time specifically when I was working in Puerto Rico, I was going from Denver to Puerto Rico in one day. I had to work early the next morning. So the one flight I was able to try and get to Orlando, which is the easiest to then go to Puerto Rico, was full. So then I had to go to Dallas. And then from Dallas, there's only one flight to Puerto Rico, and I missed that one. So then I had to go to Orlando from Dallas and then catch the very last flight from Orlando down to Puerto Rico.
Oh, no.
And so it was a lot of like last minute changes and running stuff. So that's kind of why I like getting an hour before, is because you're first on the list for the jump seat thing. You have time to figure it out, and then you can sit there and look for alternates in case something happens. And it was a good thing I did that during that trip, because I got back to Puerto Rico about an hour before I was supposed to work.
Oh no!
So I was planning on being there about 8 hours before, so I could sleep and stuff. But then
that's overrated.
Yeah, it didn't work out that way.
All right.
But,
well, that's good to know. I mean, even pilots have these extra plan times, which is huge.
Right.
So okay, awesome. So yeah, I guess these two can kind of go in tandem, and then we'll wrap up here. If there's if there's a single part of traveling that you could get rid of, what would it be? Like one process or something.
The security lines are always an issue.
Security's a pain.
Yeah, even with like my little pass to breeze through it, every now and then we get randomed, and it's, I don't know, it's just such a pain.
Yep.
I think it's always just such a pain.
Nope.
I shouldn't have to explain it more than that.
Totally. Well, and we have that on the list as kind of what we thought would be people's main problem.
Yeah.
And so it sounds like to deal with this issue currently, you said you have a pass which lets you go in a little quicker.
Yeah, it's most airlines have it, and it's basically we have to go through background checks and all this stuff anyway.
Right.
So we're pre-screened and like held way more accountable than just a standard passenger anyway. And yeah, it's happened where people have like abused that, and that's why we still get random screens occasionally.
Right.
But for the most part, it does make it pretty easy. And especially going to work, passenger guys, they have to go through security every day, and so just trying to make that process easier for those guys.
Totally. No, I totally feel you. Yeah. And it's a hard thing to fix.
It's a hard thing to fix.
Security is a pain.
It's a necessary evil for sure.
It is.
Yeah, it's not a perfect system, but of course I don't know a way to make it better.
Well, maybe we can figure something out. I agree. Cool. And I think that's yeah, I think that's kind of all I got for you here, Adam.
All right.
So thanks for your time, and hopefully we can make a product that helps you out in the future.
That would be wonderful. Looking forward to it.
Cheers.